Okay, guys, for the record, she said it, I didn't. She loves putting these words over her videos when she does them to make them feel like they're extra edited when I feel like no one cares. No one cares. Just straight film yourself. No one cares. Really, no one cares.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Bitches. Thought I'd start the vlog at 5. Yeah, I got ready. Well, woke up, got the vlog up and shit. Trying to get on top of my shoulder pain all day. Finally got ready and then started getting a migraine and fell asleep here on the chair with Philip. Woke up. Patrick's getting dinner and now we're here. Shoulder has been killing me all day, so it was like I was like, I need to start the vlog or I'm not gonna get with it. But I told you we were gonna talk about Alicia's New Year's video. I watched it and I also made notes while I was getting ready for the day, so we will talk about that later. But I need to get on top of my pain again. I don't know if oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't know if I was ever on top of my pain today, really. Just so tired of being in pain all the time and not being able to do anything about it. I do know when I talk to my doctor, I'm asking him about what we can do about the shoulder, because before he's told me just, oh, do push-ups and strengthen the muscles, and I've tried to do that and it's not working. I think I need just a little bit of like an injection of something into my shoulder, like a cortisone injection or something to, so I'm gonna ask my doctor about that next time I talk to him. I have an appointment, so, because this is a little ridiculous. Oh, sorry, I keep yawning in your face. I'm gonna go and try to get with it. You hear the cats? They're a little more with it, so yeah. Okay, guys, for the record, she said it, I didn't. She loves putting these words over her videos when she does them to make them feel like they're extra edited when I feel like that. No one cares. No one cares. Just straight film yourself. No one cares. Really, no one cares. So, she put failure over herself, and she's talking about manifesting. I think this is going to manifest failure for you if you do shit like this and you continue to over-edit your videos. They're going to continue to be a failure. Okay, so we're going to get into this. I have her video up. I've gotten myself together. Oh my god. I feel like I've been writing the struggle list. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make this video, but I got control of my migraine. Control of my shoulder pain for now. We went on a baby walk, so I feel like that kind of helped loosen up my back. So I'm like, I need to move. I need to do something. So we're going to do something. We're going to react to this video. I got coffee. The straw matches my beanie. I have it blue in here because, well, this kind of helps my migraine not having real lights on, and yeah. So, fix my pants here. Do you ever have like yoga pants or something and they like roll and stuff? Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. Okay. Alisha. Okay, so we're gonna see if I can do this reaction thing. Okay. Alright, we're gonna react to this thing. And I'm gonna see if I can edit this all fancy. Oh, here's the cats. Frank was gonna help me react, but he took off, so. Come here, Frank. What? No, don't you wanna help me react? She had her dog in the video. Why can't you be in the video? Come here, Philip. Do you wanna be in the video? Oh, he wants to be in the video. Okay, let's roll this bitch.
Everything that I've done this year is the opposite that I've ever done any other year. 2023 has been a year for Alisha.
No, she
This has
hasn't.
been probably the most successful year of my
Has
entire
it?
life.
I have notes too, guys. I have notes. Better not get claimed for that shit.
Welcome back to another If Alisha Was to Have a Solo podcast episode.
We're already stopping there, guys. This solo podcast thing I think is bullshit. Because most podcasts don't edit themselves like this, long form, like with a bunch of jump cuts. Like I've said, girl, you need to go quit with the jump cuts. I'm going to point out some evidence in this, but I'm pretty sure she's been watching me again, like, she's been watching me. I mean, I've been adding her in titles and crap, so she's been watching, so yeah. And yeah, the solo podcast thing I think is just, I feel like one of her, and we'll get into this as well, we're going to talk about this, but a lot of the people Alisha surrounds herself with, and I'm sorry if you're a Alisha fan or whatever, but I'm a totally blunt ass person. I'm in my don't give a fuck era. I'm totally gonna be blunt. I'm totally gonna say what is on my mind, and I'm totally gonna word vomit everything I am thinking about this video as I record it. Cats are all over the place too, just so you guys know. This is a real life. I'm real life. I don't over edit my crap, and I don't like doing a bunch of jump cuts because it's like, I don't know. I feel like if you're someone who watches YouTube and you've found my video, that's not really what you're here for. You're not here for overly edited content. You want to see a real ass person. It's so funny, all the cats crawling all over the place as soon as I film. Like, Frank, come here. No, you can be in the video, Frank. See, I keep telling my cat, Alisha had her dog in the video. Whoa, there you go, Frank. And so you can be in it too. You can sit here like this on the stool right next to me and help me watch this. Yeah. Side tangent, I'm sorry, but I feel like one of her ass kissers, and she has, basically everybody that we've seen Alisha surround herself with has monetarily gained something from her. And I feel like one of those people is who told her about this, like, it's a solo podcast thing. And so that's why I'm just kind of like, this is stupid. Like, can't you just do a sit-down video like everybody else does on YouTube and just talk? You have to call it something fancy and act like you're creating a trend or whatever. It's not working. And it also feels like she's low-key thirst trapping for sponsorships for her own podcast. Like, maybe this is actually her getting us ready for Pretty Basic being over, and her doing her own solo podcast where she talks, and this is getting us ready for it. Like I said, I'm just gonna word vomit this entire time, but is that what's happening? Are you getting us ready for you doing a podcast? Because she does do this where she'll say like, oh my god, I love this product. Like, what was it, that seasoning crap she loves so much? She was like, oh, I love this so much, and then people would at that company for her, and then she got a bunch of free PR and stuff from them. That she like thirst traps for brands and sponsorships. I'm not lying. And she has we're gonna get into this too. Done a Canon. I'm pretty sure she's worked with Canon in the past, so I don't understand why this whole Canon thing, and working with Amazon style, like you've worked with Amazon in the past too. So I don't understand why those are new accomplishments, but let's roll.
Series, whatever you want to call it. So I started this series a few months ago where I was like, you know what, let's just have little chit chat. Big sis advice. My voice is slightly gone.
Who's your little sister?
Before He Cheats by Carrie
She's always done this big
karaoke
sis
the other
crap.
night. But I am really excited for this video. If you're new, please subscribe. I post videos all the time. Anything self-help
she doesn't
related,
actually.
anything business, goal setting, New Year's resolutions, like that ish is it's
This ish is also a niche that I feel like she tries to, the lifestyle girlies in this community, like her, Remy, Laura DIY, Adeline Morin, you know, a lot of those type of girlies who have come out of like the school, back to school, you know, niche that was back in the day, that, and then they became lifestyle YouTubers. I feel like that self-help, like journaling kind of community, like a lot of communities on YouTube overlap, and so that communities at times will overlap with the lifestyle community, the organization, journaling, that kind of stuff. And so, like, I feel like that's her just kind of garnering onto this niche and this being a trend. Like, if you were to go to, like, Google Trends, like, you can put Google Trends in, and you can search just what's trending on the YouTube website. You have to filter for it, but it's there. I bet this self-help 2024 make 2024 your best year in manifestations, and this type of verbiage is actually trending right now, and that's why she's doing this.
just, I love it. I know there's a niche out there, so if you love it too, like this video.
Like I said,
I've never
there's a
really
niche.
filmed one like this. I've talked about it kind of before on podcast episodes and things, but I'm really excited to dive into this because I feel like I've truly figured out the secret
How did we
to
dive into this in a
manifesting
12-minute
and getting
video?
the dream life that's
heavily
want.
edited.
I feel like a
I don't
broken
get it.
record when I say this, but if you didn't know, I've been on YouTube for 15
Oh, I know.
years. I've been
It's funny. I went back the other day to one of her old videos, like her first video, and it's a Twilight bloopers video on her vlog channel. And I went back to see like what were some of her first comments, and it was this other girl who does lifestyle content nowadays, commenting how she got to meet one of the actors who played in Twilight, and her commenting back how cool that was. But like, it was just interesting to see like who were some of your first subscribers. Do you ever go back and say like thank you for being one of the few people that watched my crap back in the day, my Twilight bloopers on my vlog channel? Because that one video has more views than any one of my videos will ever have. So like, are you grateful for that? We're gonna get to that too. We're gonna talk about that grateful shit.
doing this as a job full-time more like 12 years. Every single year, without a doubt, one of my biggest goals was to hit a certain milestone, which usually was the amount of
Numbers
subscribers
related.
or followers that I have, or also just
That's the other thing, is like, you're never going to be happy when you have specific numbers like that and you're equating that to your happiness. It's just not going to happen. If you're like, I will be happy this year and feel successful if I make $1 million. In life, like, really, like, money and views and all those things aren't what make people happy. And I've talked about this. It's like, you need to think about seriously what makes me happy right now, like, regardless of money and stuff. Do you hear the cats fighting? Yeah, my cats make me happy. So that kind of thing. Or like how I've talked about, and I went back on my channel is a couple years ago, I made a video talking about how I was working on like learning stuff, and I like to work on learning new things every year, and then I can look back and see how I've grown. And I look back and saw how I said I was going to practice drawing so I can one day do my own t-shirt line and stuff, and look, here I am. So yeah, when you do like open-ended goals like that, you have more room for improvement as less room for failure because you're not giving yourself the specific goal. You're giving yourself a like, I want to grow in this direction. And all you really need to do is try. Like, all you have to do is try. And as long as you tried, like, you know how I try to get a vlog up every day. I mean, you did something. You did it. You didn't just say, if I'm not going to be perfect at this, I'm just fucking not going to do it. Like Alisha's done.
Certain milestone, which usually was the amount of subscribers or followers that I have, or also just how much money I can make in a year. Like, those were two goals that were usually always on a New Year's resolution list. Now, again, I've done this job for a very long time. Granted, it's changed over the years, but there's something different that I did this year versus any other year, and it cannot be a coincidence. Also, I need you to listen. Well, actually, there's a lot of stuff I want you to listen to in this video. I truly don't think there's anything wrong with focusing on yourself and self-growth and business and focusing that way.
Because
I'm going to contradict a lot of things I've said in the past. And I think that's what makes this video so,
Girl, Peter Mon told us in a vlog the other day, he totally told Jeffree Star what's up. Like, no one's saying iconic anymore. We're not saying iconic. We are not going into 2024 saying iconic. Peter Mon schooled us all in drama class the other day. We are not going into 2024 saying iconic, Alisha. You need to cut that crap out. Stop saying iconic. You saying iconic in this video just proves how out of touch you are with trends and fucking reality, and the fact that, yeah, I think you failed. Like a lot of times, Alisha, I've heard you over the past couple years say that you want to get married one day and have a family and get a husband and stuff, and those sound like goals of yours, but you've not made any progress towards any of that. All you ever make progress towards is money and views. You don't even make progress towards connecting with your subscribers in a real way that matters. Like, hearting a few comments is not connecting with your subscribers.
Iconic. There's been things I've said on Pretty Basic about like resolutions and focusing on yourself and manifesting and vision boards and all that stuff.
Bullshit.
I still believe that. However, again, everything that I've done this year is the opposite that I've ever done any other year. 2023 has been a year for Alisha. This has been probably the most successful year of my entire life.
She says that every year.
I've had friends, I've had viewers, I've had so many people randomly message me, DM me, text me, and say like, hey, you're on a roll. Like, you are killing it. Keep up the good work. All these amazing compliments. And I'm like, I feel that. Like, I feel like I'm on such an interesting high, like, wave. But at the same time, I truly have not been hustling like I used to other years to the point of burnout. I feel like that's something that was very...
Alisha, none of what you did in the past was sustainable in any way. It was never sustainable. Sorry, my lips are like peeling, so like I'm like, yeah, sorry. Anyways, I'm gross. Anyways, so yeah, Alisha, she's burnt out and has been burnt out. Look, my cat even agrees. He just reached out for the screen at her. Frank, what do you want to say to Alisha? She's not a cat person, but what do you want to say? The burnout, the reason why you've been burnt out is because you chase things that are unfulfilling. That's why Alisha's been burnt out, is she chases things that are unfulfilling. She chases things that don't actually make people happy at all, not whatsoever. So that's why she's had burnout. That's why she's had all this stuff. And really, like, a lot of the people she's surrounded herself are all people that have gained from her monetarily. And then she also wants to point out, too, that Lana Del Rey is not an accomplishment. And we'll get to that. I have some words about the Lana Del Rey thing.
Common in the past. So what I did this year versus any other year was let go, which is the whole irony, because everyone says with dreams and goals or manifestation or even dating, like, it always happens when you're not.
That's not what it is. What it is when you're not looking for it, you're not having specific expectations. Alisha has a lot of expectations, it sounds like, for the man she wants to marry someday. She wants like a tall dude who's at a specific height with dark hair and has specific types of jobs and stuff like that. Well, letting go and not having like a specific expectation for like a man, or like numbers or like things like that is not, when you don't have those specific goals, you're not looking for those things. You know what I'm saying? You're not stressing out about, like, I need to find a man who's this, this, and this, right? So you don't have those expectations. So you're open to kind of whatever is going to come your way. So all this time, Alisha has had specific expectations for her life and what it needs to look like numbers-wise, money-wise, you know, aesthetic-wise, all that stuff. And she's saying she was happy when she stopped doing those things, you know, which is her being on the right track. But also to say that all those past times when you told us you were happy and doing well, you actually really weren't. You were lying to yourself.
Looking for it. It's so contradictory to literally any other thing I've ever tried or said or done. And I'm not saying I didn't have really awesome things happen those years, because I did. But this year specifically, I feel like I have truly let go of expectations I had for myself. Even just the energy of trying to stay relevant. I feel like every other year it felt like I was really fighting to prove myself, always trying to outdo myself, to make more followers, to make more money. The moment I actually stopped trying so hard is when started happening. It makes no sense. I don't even know how to rationalize it. I'm just here to say my experience. Last year, I made the most money I ever had made.
That's not a
and I
big
was
deal.
The most unhappy.
People who win the lotto can say that as well. The other thing Alisha forgets to grasp, and I know her and a lot of other lifestyle YouTubers don't realize, is that a lot of her early videos, her School Alisha videos, were put into a data set that, you know, as the algorithm on YouTube here has progressed and evolved and grown and been implemented by Google, they've had to grow and implement the technology because of the amount of content being uploaded. A lot of her videos were put into what they call a data set that what is then used to train the AI model to understand what a YouTube video is. And so when the AI sees Alisha, think of the AI like a baby, right? When you're first learning to see faces, you're really going to remember the first faces you saw, like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. Well, when the algorithm here on YouTube was learning how to see its brother see faces, it was seeing Alisha. So now when it sees Alisha's videos, it's like, I know you, I know what to do with you. That's why it also favors her when she does back to school content. She has kind of gotten screwed in the algorithm that way. That's not your fault, Alisha. I've told you this in my past videos, and I'll link my YouTube 8M video below that explains the algorithm and how these data sets affect us and people like Alisha.
My mental health was absolutely a shit show. So earlier this year, I was doing financing and looking at my budget and all of this stuff, and I realized there's absolutely no way I'm going to make anything close to what I did last year, which in the past, I think I would have really seen that as a huge failure. I would have looked down on myself. I would have thought, oh my gosh, you don't even deserve to be doing this job. Who are you? Imposter syndrome. Bad negative self-talk. Also around the same time.
Who cares? Here's the thing. Who cares how you got here? You got here with this platform. You're here now. What are you going to do with it? Like, it's like when people get an inheritance or they win the lotto. It's like, okay, you have this money, so what are you going to do with it so you don't fuck it up and lose it like some of these people on those shows, like how the lottery ruined my life. Yeah, Alisha won the lottery when it came to the algorithm game and stuff. She really did. But now what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to do this bullshit content for Daddy AdSense? Or you going to actually pick it up and do something creative because you actually get an audience? You actually have people seeing you and actually wanting to interact with you. I'm one of them. And yet you never really do that. You just heart a few comments. Sorry, Frank. You just heard a few comments. You just say a couple like, thanks, you know, in the comments. And that's about it. You might put some of your subscribers when you run into them at Abercrombie or, what is that? I don't even remember the name of that. Urban Outfitters. Yeah. The other thing too, I'm really disappointed about the charity thing Alisha did. That's the other thing too. And she's going to talk about like the kind of the charity thing and whatnot. She didn't really talk about what that charity was on her vlog. It is a safe place for you. I think is it a safe place for you is what it's called? I took some screenshots. Let's see. Let's see. Because I looked it up and I was like, this is a really cool. It is called. Sorry. A safe place for youth. It's a youth charity for like homeless or like youth out in the Los Angeles area, which we get a lot of young people who still come out to LA thinking they're going to become a star or something, and they don't make it like Alisha made it. And so a lot of them will also end up homeless. A lot of them are coming out of foster care and ending up homeless. A lot of, you know, kids sadly come from homes they don't have both parents, or, you know, they just end up in a situation where they end up on the streets. It just happens. It happens. So a safe place for youth actually has a lot of resources for these youth who end up on the streets. They have a lot of like street outreach where they'll go out onto the streets and actually try to make contact with some of these homeless youths to get them into their centers. And like we saw Alisha doing like the hot meal and stuff, but one thing I really liked is that they have where they'll find you a case manager at this safe place for youth, and the case manager will help them figure out like housing, a job, you know, skills so that they can get employment and support themselves. They help people get medical care. They have a program for pregnant teens. There was a lot of programs that they had. They have a community garden. Yeah, the community garden. They have an internship program. They just had a lot of programs for, you know, a lot of youth. I mean, a lot of youth don't get lucky like Alisha does on TikTok. So, yeah. I'll put the link. I'll put the link for that website below so you can see that. And I think they also have a YouTube channel. Oh.
Time is when I paused Parallel Apparel, the clothing brand that I had. But I think because I was in such a bad mental state and my mental health was horrible last year, that when these things came up, I was like, you know what? We can't even go down that spiral because we're barely getting out of that, and we need to keep things positive. So you know what? Shutting down the clothing brand, you know what? Let's shut that door. It just wasn't meant to be, whether that's right now or
I think he was also having to come to the reality that, like, yeah, she got taken advantage of with her business because she didn't know what she was talking about or whatever. It wasn't something she was prepared for. She didn't really do her research. And when she did her business, she focused on kind of like what her and her influencers wanted, and she didn't focus on what her audience wanted at all. She's been disconnected with her audience for years, and maybe because she's never really had to try. She's never really had to try connecting with an audience in a really meaningful way like other people have to grow an audience, if you know what I'm saying.
And we need to keep things positive. So you know what? Shutting down the clothing brand, you know what? Let's shut that door. It just wasn't meant to be, whether that's right now or ever. So letting go of any of that negativity and just being grateful for what I've learned and realizing that doors open and shut all the time, and they open and shut for you.
True.
Like if a door closes, if you don't get a job, if you get turned down or you get rejected or whatever, like that is in your best interest. Like in the grand scheme of things, like that just wasn't the path you were supposed to go down. And I feel like there's so many times we sit there trying to knock down a freaking door when you're hung up on a guy or hung up on a job that you didn't get. And in reality, it's like, we're just not supposed to go down that door. The second I had that mindset, started happening. Freaking, do we even need to talk about
Okay, Lana Del Rey, I feel like she took that moment from Ollie. I know a lot of people, and hey guys from the Snark Reddit, if you came over from the Snark Reddit, hey. I feel like she took that moment from Ollie. I had never really heard about her being a Lana Del Rey fan until she met Ollie. And then, like, it was like Lana, Lana, Lana. And the next thing you know, her and Ollie had the same title for their vlogs about meeting Lana Del Rey, and she watches the vlogs. Oh my god. I think Remy had the same, they all three had the same title. And it was like, it felt like she was taking that moment from her friend Ollie. And instead of just being like, Ollie got to meet his favorite, got to meet Lana Del Rey or something, like, in her title. It was more like, it was like her, and like this had always been her dream. It just, it felt icky. It felt like, Alisha, if you're watching this, you took that moment from Ollie.
Lana Del Rey, like,
I'm so glad I got to meet the vloggers who got me through COVID. Remy Ashton, Ollie, and Alisha Marie. Thank you.
her saying, Remy, Ollie and I got her through COVID, especially last year because my mental health was so bad. I was thinking, is this even what I'm supposed to be doing anymore?
I don't know.
Really?
The other thing too is, like, I like Lana and stuff, but like she was going out still during COVID and stuff and wearing those like masks that really weren't masks. And I think some people did a couple of videos on that. So it's like, how hard was COVID really for Lana? I mean, like, she was a celebrity who I think lives on I think her house is pretty large and shit. Like, she had the resources. Like, how hard was COVID really for her?
Really second guessing my purpose here with video creation and content creation, and then the Lana thing happened. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Also, like, I only even went to that event to be there and support my friends, and I think even that
and
mentality,
take that moment from them.
I could see Alisha in the past thinking, oh well,
this is some
I'll only
shit.
go if I have a deal, or like, you know, like focusing so much on numbers and money, and instead I was like, I have nothing to do. Like, yeah, like, I want to be there for Ollie so he can see Lana.
That didn't change. That's not going to change overnight.
Let's just go have fun. Let's not focus on this power game of influencer world where it's like, should you get paid? Should they shout you out?
Power game?
Like, stupid I think it really taught me that happiness is what success should be. Success should be happiness. Success shouldn't be a house. Success shouldn't be anything numbers related or money or salary. And also, like, you have to be willing to evolve with your goals, evolve as a human, as a creative. I truly believe when you are in that
creative, how, Alisha? How? You take other people's ideas and make them your own. You follow trends. That's all you do. You even say how you like trendy clothes and stuff. You can never make a decision that isn't your own. So I don't understand that at all. Please explain that to me. Can you explain that to me, please? I told you DM me. Sorry, I had to do the Peter Mon thing. She keeps talking about being grateful and grounded, and I feel like this grateful and grounded shit is kind of like trying to make up for the fact that people have been saying on the Snark Reddit that she just seems privileged and out of touch.
Headspace, you are grounded, you are grateful. That is when you can actually plant seeds that will grow like full flowers. Like, I'm not, yeah, that was a cheesy analogy, but you get what I mean. You have to be so grounded and so in tune with yourself and your soul of what you want to add to this world.
Shit happens in life. I've talked about this. Like when I had my accident, I slipped and fell. I hurt my back very badly. I've had a lot of health problems. I was going to be a nurse. I had an EMT certificate. And I had to give all that up and restructure my life and start over. A lot of people have to do that. It happens. And it's life. Life is about change. Sometimes that change is really hard. Lots of people do it all the time. It's not something profound.
And from there, be willing to change your goals. You know, if you wanted to be an actor and it's not happening for you, or you wanted to be a musician and you feel like you keep hitting those closed doors, like, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're pivoting. It just means you're evolving, and your dreams can also evolve. So when I finally stopped trying so hard, when I stopped trying to crank out as much content as possible, when I stopped, I don't know, doing all the things I felt like I was trying to do in the past to like force.
Okay, we're going to talk about this Forbes shit. Peter Mon has talked about this on his channel, but there is a website that PR people will go on. They'll go to Google and they'll go, to this thing called Muckrack. And Muckrack, you can pay for to be on a lot of lists. You can pay to have articles written for you. One of the things you can do is be on a Forbes list. Now, being on the Forbes 30 under 30 is really hard to get on. You have to be kind of famous, so it has to kind of do something for Forbes and benefit them to have you on that list as well. And let's just be real, not everybody knows who you are, Alisha. So it's just the thing. And you have to kind of pay for it too. It's a lot of smoozing. It's a lot of politics. It has nothing to do with your success whatsoever. It has to do with who you know. Same thing with this other list she's about to tell us she got on. Her PR person, her management team got her on that. The management team, the one that I said I saw the picture of her, that management, that person who gets 30% of your sponsorships, who could give a crap if you upload and connect to your audience or not, as long as your subscriber count is still high. That's the other thing we're going to talk about as well, is her engagement. But yeah, it's not good.
Stuff started happening. One of my biggest goals in my entire life has been to be recognized by Forbes. I was part of their top creators fashion list, which was seriously insane. I've said it on Pretty Basic.
One of my
biggest goals was actually to be on Forbes 30 under 30. And I was so scared to say that out loud, because I was like, well, if I say it, then people are going to know I didn't make it. I didn't hit it, because then I'm open to scrutiny of, will she fail? I was projecting that people would think I'm a failure, when in reality, that's just what my subconscious thought of me if I didn't hit that, right? Spoiler alert, I didn't get on the list. I was so sad. That's just how it happens. It's okay. Letting that go. Randomly the other day, I had a publicist call me and be like, hey, exciting news for you. You're going to be on the Forbes list. And I was like, what? I don't care what anyone says. It cannot be a coincidence.
I think she whined so much about being on a Forbes list, thirst trapping, like she does for sponsorships, that's how this worked. She got on this other list because she thirst trapped and hoped that, somebody else would, pity for, kind of like trauma dumping, but for sponsorships. You know what I'm saying? Or for, being on a list or being recognized. She does that. Alisha, people normally pay to be on these lists. You don't stop thirst trapping and just open your wallet.
That when I was so desperate to be on Forbes 30 under 30, I didn't get it. I let that list dictate a lot about me. Obviously, that door was closed to me then, and there was another door that ended up
she's
being
always
open.
Trying to tell
the
us
main
she's
difference
different.
Between Alisha then and Alisha now is just mindset. Truly being grateful and gratitude and more grounded. How come the time
like I said earlier, she's worked with Canon before, I'm pretty sure. They've sent her a free camera in the past. And she's worked with Amazon. She's done lives for them and stuff. She's an Amazon affiliate, which I know a lot of people can do that. She's worked with them, and done little ads and done the lives. I've seen the lives.
Didn't try. And I was just chilling, just happy to be here.
What?
That's when starts happening. What?
What? And the shop style thing? It's just another sponsorship. Also, too, none of these sponsorships, how do they really relate to your subscribers? Because I'm telling you, I bet a lot of your subscribers can't afford to buy a Canon camera like this. I got lucky. I got this for Christmas. They can get this shit is hard and expensive. A lot of people will do this shit on their phone, Alisha, because they can't afford a Canon, okay? Especially since we're going into a recession. You should know people couldn't afford your parallel apparel stuff. And that's not as expensive as a Canon camera that could make content that could possibly make them money on this platform. So, also to the style thing, is that something your audience uses? Because a lot of her sponsorships, I just feel are a disconnect. They're things that her audience doesn't actually use. And so I'm just what is this, Alisha? Is this just a chance for you to model? I'm gonna pause again. It really feels like she's just kind of being a commercial model. Not editing that out. We all cough, we're all human beings, but... And I'm getting over a cold, so... Which Alisha says she is too. Which, I vlogged through my cold, Alisha, so... Which, The vlog she posted today, that was really good, of her having Christmas with her sister and celebrating her sister's birthday too and her family. That I loved. That was great content. Unlike this bullshit, which, like I said, none of these sponsorships really connect to her audience at all. And it feels like she's just commercial modeling. She's just like a commercial model. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, you know, like looks like the girl next door type deal, like You and Me, sort of. That's Alisha. She's commercial modeling for Amazon, for Macy's, for this, whatever this style shop shit is. I don't even know what it is. I watch her content. I don't even know what some of these sponsorships are for or what they are. Canon, like I said, I follow her. She got that sponsorship for the charity through Postmates. I don't even know what that was. I had to go look it up because she did that poor of a job influencing and telling and giving her audience, who are supposed to be the people she's supposed to be selling these things to. That's how she gets her sponsorships, based off of her subscriber numbers. But yet her subscribers don't understand what she's sponsored for and why and what she's promoting or selling. Like I said, I'm getting over cold. I'm not editing that out.
I don't know how all of this stuff is happening. Like, I don't get it.
So you met another celebrity,
but at the same time,
Gomez, big
it's
deal.
not a coincidence. Stuff is just happening, and I feel like I'm just allowing it, like letting it, and being willing to just see what doors are open versus trying so hard to knock down the one door that I always did back before. We need to stop comparing ourselves year to year, because when you really think of the grand scale of things, right? Like someone like Taylor Swift, okay, she's
an
performing
artist.
this
That's
year. She's
different.
on tour. There's no freaking way she sits back and
The difference between you and Taylor Swift, and here's the other thing, you need to do this too, is that when you're in a career like Alicia's or like Taylor Swift's, you're not going to make the same amount of money all the time, because you're an artist and you're getting paid in like chunks of money. You're not getting paid a salary. You're not working for a company and getting paid a weekly check. You're not going to get a salary raise. You're not going up levels. You're like you're contractor or something, you know. You're getting paid based off the jobs you're doing. So how much did you work? How much effort did you put in versus, you know, did you go on tour? There's a lot of variables, so that's why it's really something when you're like her, you can't do. And you have to do a lot of investing. Sorry, the talking's making me cough. I think I'm gonna live. Okay. Sorry about that, but yeah, when you're doing that, you really need to start saving your money, and you need to be a little more frugal. And that's why I've also said, like, it's scary that a lot of these lifestyle girlies have these, hopefully these houses have a lot of equity in them, but what are you invested in? Because I've seen a lot of your like wardrobe and your Gucci and stuff, and that all costs money. That car costs money. So sorry. Oh my god. Okay, if I do get on cuts, it's because I'm coughing, or I'm cutting out me hanging out my lungs, but that's it. Okay, so yeah, girl, are you investing? Because the way things are going and the way, you know, people are starting to realize that, I think a bunch of these companies that are doing the sponsorships and stuff are eventually going to realize that her subscriber count doesn't mean shit. That it's more about the engagement ratio. And her engagement ratio, that Forbes list had it on there. It's not good. And like I said, I don't even know what she's sponsored for half the time. And a lot of this stuff is just stuff that her audience just isn't into. So it's like, it's just not good. It's not good. So you need to save your money for a rainy day. Like, that's why a lot of people who are like self-employed will live in states where they don't have to pay taxes. You know what, like an income tax, because it saves them money. That's why a lot of them will try to live as cheaply as possible and like live on cheaper land or something like that, and then fly into LA for those brand trips and stuff, because it's cheaper than just living in LA, because you're too lazy to get on a plane and fly for a brand trip that happens maybe a couple times a year. And yeah, so those events, big deal. What have those events really done for Alisha? What has LA really done for her view-wise, monetarily wise, other than her getting to drive around, go shopping, and pretend like she's a celebrity? But she's really not. And a lot of those paparazzi things where she's like, I got caught by the pops, orchestrated by her management team. I'm not kidding. This isn't a lie.
Is like, wow, I made so much more money this year than last year. Like, hello, no. She's obviously on a world tour making a
She
ton of
loves
money,
to compare
and she
herself
can't
to Taylor
compare
Swift.
a touring
Two
year
different things.
versus a year where she's in the studio
She's an
writing
artist.
music. But they both serve very
You don't
important
make art
purposes.
like that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we need time to sit, re-get inspired, and re-find ourselves and evolve. We need that so desperately as creatives, as humans, but like as creatives. When it comes to working yourself to the ground, being burnt out, I remember hearing this analogy that made so much sense to me, and I forget where I heard it, but I loved it. It was saying, anytime you're putting out content or performing or anything, that's the analogy of you exhaling, right? But you can only exhale so long until you need to take a breath. And that breath is rest. And that breath is staying grounded.
Okay, for one, I've never seen you put out a piece of fucking art. These videos are not art. This is not art. This is not like something that like came out of a feeling or an inspiration inside of you, and then you figured out a way to translate that into reality, like I did with this, or my Desert Mermaid, or my intro. A lot of people who are really creative, they say that being creative and creating art is like breathing to them. It is just something they do naturally. And yes, you do need time to recharge your creative juices. For a lot of people, a lot of artists will need that, a time to reset and get re-inspired. But they don't just sit around and do nothing. They do things to re-inspire themselves and to reinvigorate themselves and to come up with new concepts and new ideas so that they can create new things and birth new creative ideas into the world. Alisha doesn't do that. She just takes a break from YouTube and then comes back and starts making things like, if I had a solo podcast. What is this? You're talking to the camera. Peter Mon does that all the time. His vlog, people used to say, was like a podcast. No jump cuts. Alisha, you would just talk. That's a solo podcast. This is not. This has got a bunch of... This is a highly edited video. This is a YouTube video. This is a highly edited YouTube video. Trying to be self-help. Which you're saying you got this stuff from other places, which is great and all, but you can't even credit who you got this from at all. And you're talking about doing all this relaxation. Do you realize, like, Alicia's always burnt out and always having to take a break? True story, bro.
And being grateful and taking time to reevaluate, is this where I want to put all my energy, money, time, everything into? Another thing that happened earlier this year for me was I was sitting thinking I need to have some goals again. I used to always have an ongoing list of just things I wanted in life. And I was sitting there with my paper and pen, and I was trying so hard just to think of anything that would inspire me or thing that would really excite me. I was really struggling. Then I had a moment. I was like, Alisha, really dig into yourself. If you had a genie and you had 3 wishes, what are things truly it would come true? Positive. And I couldn't think of anything. And what I'm about to say, whether you are a religious, an atheist, it could be your universe, it could be your whatever you want it to be. I just want you to hear what I say in this next thing, because I swear again, listening. It's not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence. I personally grew up in a Christian home, so I believe in a God. I pray to a God. So I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should think of this more like prayer requests. Like maybe it'll feel like more it's going to come true. Not like a genie, but damn near. Like, okay, you got 3 wishes. What do you want? And it will come true. Like, what's something you really want? The second I pictured it being more prayer requests, dude, the craziest thing happened. I low-key got chills. All of my priorities and goals were for other people. I thought of dear family friend who has been struggling with...
Oh, shit. I went to a Peter Mon. Let me go back. Okay, there we are. Okay. I had a problem with this because I felt like this was she was virtual signaling here and trying to be profound. Wow, that pause came as pretty strong there, but she was trying to be profound and stuff like that and trying to be like, And I also feel like was signaling to what I've said in my Vlogmas, how I said Vlogmas is not that hard. Quit complaining. I did a couple videos where I added her and I said this is not hard. There are people who are dying of cancer and they're vlogging from their deathbeds. If they can do that, you can do that too. And here she is saying, oh, well, when I thought about, like, what do I want for myself, I really thought about other people. Well, of course, we all want our loved ones to be happy and healthy. I have loved ones too that have a lot of health problems, and I want them to survive them as well. We all fucking have that, Alisha. So, good for you. You think about other people. You're not just this privileged bitch in LA. Is that what you're trying to tell us? Because that's bullshit. That is bullshit. And then you sitting here trying to be profound about it, like you came up with this like amazing new concept. This is an amazing new concept. Okay? And the other thing too, I heard you say correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty basic, that you heard someone else come up with this prayer request idea on TikTok. So there you are, taking someone else's idea and not coming up with your own.
Cancer and very, very horrible health issues. It was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, that they get better, that they get healed.
I
The next one was
better.
like, oh, I felt so much
Cancer's
love for my
fucking
parents and how much
evil.
that they've given up for me and done to help me in my life. And I was just like, oh, that my parents are blessed and they feel happy. And then
Yeah.
the list kept going,
Well,
and it was so
lots of
crazy
people
because
want
then
that for
I
their
looked
parents.
back and I realized all of these things that I just wrote down have nothing to do with me. The thought that this
my
will
God.
actually happen weirdly made me
You're just so caring,
want to
Alisha.
help
You're
other
such a
people.
great
And it's
person.
so weird because I'm like, again,
Oh my God.
I had like an out of body
She's so
experience. I was like,
kind, guys.
this is weird. I don't know what
Oh,
that means.
what an
Other things
angel.
on that list were personal things. It was like in ways I wanted to grow as a human and a person and as a friend, and it had nothing to do with the Alisha Marie everyone sees online. And I was just like, how the
She loves telling us too that like we don't understand or we don't know the real Alisha. Like there's a totally different her. Like there's more substance to her, but we just don't ever get to see it. Show it, because as far as I know, you've told us a lot, but I've seen no action. She's a lot of talk and no like action, like wanting to do charity, but like we never hear about the charity that you worked with. I had to go look that shit up myself. Your subscribers, you are so disconnected with them, you can't even sell the right sponsorships to them. Like, because I don't even, can't even communicate to them about sponsorships, because I'm even like, I don't know. What are you trying to sell me here? What is exactly this Canon deal? Your commercial model? Is that what you're doing? Confused.
is it the time I write a list that has nothing to do about my work, my achievements, money, anything like that? Then shit happens. Then the Forbes thing happens. Then these campaign shoots happen. Then brand deals started flowing.
She's always getting brand
in.
deals.
I know I'm cussing so much. I'm so sorry. Like,
She's
it's
always
not
getting
a
brand
coincidence.
deals.
And I'm like, this is so crazy. The 1 year I don't make a vision board. I don't like.
Girl, you're always getting brand deals. You're always getting these types of things. These have happened in the past. Maybe last year, the prior year, you didn't focus on it so much because you were focusing on that business that was a failure. It was really a business for you and your influencer friends and not for your audience or people actually wanting to wear clothes. So
Have Post-its on my mirrors trying to tell me what to say. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done that in the past. But I'm like, what is happening?
I want to know what's
and I
happening
feel like,
too, because
again,
I'm just
so many people in my life have been like,
fucking
you're so
confused.
relevant right now. So many people are looking up to you. Like all these.
Here's the other thing too. She, like I said, she has a lot of, most of the people she surrounds herself with have gained something monetarily from her. Something from her, views wise, monetarily wise, clout wise, something, right? Or they feel as though they are. A lot of the people will ass kiss her. I see it in the comments, you do too, where they're just like, oh my god, Alisha, your editing style, you have been so on your game lately, Alisha. And then like a year later, she'll tell us how that was like the worst year of her life and she was so depressed and we just didn't know her and stuff. And then later on, like how like she's learned from it and being burnt out and shit. There's a cycle here, Alisha, with you. Alisha has a cycle and I'm starting to see it where it's like, hey guys, oh my god, I'm on top of my game, I'm doing so well, blah blah blah, I've totally figured out the secret to life. This video right here. Next thing we know, We get Alisha telling us, you know, I'm realizing that, like, I'm burnt out and I need to rest and recuperate and I need to recharge myself and burnt out and mental health, and you guys, mental health, and I just get it about mental health and having to find yourself and all this self-help stuff. And then we start getting back to the top where it's, guys, I totally get it. I get it, guys. This has been like, I am on my game. Yes, I am doing so well, and everybody is telling me I'm well, and then suddenly we'll start to go. She goes up and down like this every year.
These work things are coming in as like secondary, but all of those secondary things that are happening were things I would have dreamed of, were top of my list. It can't be a coincidence. That's the title of this video. It can't be a coincidence. It's so crazy, but I just changed my mindset. Like, I changed my mindset. Instead of what can I take from this world, what can I add? Even with my videos, you know what? Am I getting 20 million views? No, but people who actually care about me, and I want to focus on that audience. And oh my God, Alisha even a year ago would have never filmed a video like this because I'm like, oh, it won't do well. But now I see the importance of the quality of viewers versus just virality that means nothing and it's empty. I think in the end, we all do want lasting fulfillment.
What do you mean? What you can take from this world? What? It's a weird statement.
That's just kind of where my head's been and my mindset, and one little thing I've been doing every single day that I literally challenge you to do. I've been doing it the past like 2 months. And again, is it a coincidence?
Focus on me. Focus on me. Okay. I wouldn't have, yeah, you're still not, this isn't a proper sit down video. It's still highly edited. Like I told you, you do need to do more videos like this, less edited and less of this, like, this word bullshit all over the screen. This word bullshit all over the screen. These words, they're dumb. People do that when they're trying to emphasize a point to you. They'll flash the word on the screen. They'll try. It's like subliminal messaging, okay? We don't need your subliminal messaging, Alisha. We want the raw you, unedited, unfocused. Look, I coughed in this. My lips are peeling in this. You know, I'm a real ass human being bitch in this. It is what it is. People can accept it or not. But you edit yourself so much because you think this is what you need to do to make a living, to get views and stuff. And it's going to hurt you in the long run. I don't care if you think you're successful getting these sponsorships. Like I said, you're still disconnected from your audience. And then this whole I want to focus on my audience right now because I've been harping at you all Vlogmas about how you're disconnected from people.
I don't think so. You can write it down, or I've honestly just been saying them out loud every single day. But no matter what, every single day I say to myself, like the rest of your life, I'm grateful for. It has to be something that you truly, in your like soul, feel thankful for, like you're grateful for. 5 things. That's it. It can be your dog. It could be something silly. It can be anything. I don't think you actually believe I should do mine today because I haven't done them yet. Oh my God. The first thing I think of is just like, I'm so grateful for the people who I work with who have helped me in so many ways. Alisha. Just have my back. I could not be here doing any of this without them. Real, and I'm so thankful for every single one of them. The one's behind the camera right now. Yeah, the one's over there. Yeah, like speechless. I don't even know what to say. So thankful. Okay, this is so small, but like I've been struggling with a cold all week, and I feel like I still feel sick today, but instead of focusing on the negative that way, I'm like, I'm grateful that I can still work, I can still film, like I can still be here, and that I'm getting better. Our bodies are crazy. The fact that I can feel myself, spent Christmas like, with you. So for my health and my body, I'm still overall extremely healthy. Here's the other thing too. Patrick, what was the name of the actor that just passed away from Friends?
Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry, okay. Matthew Perry had a paid live-in assistant who was like his best friend, right? That was his someone he paid. And he died alone in his from a ketamine overdose in his hot tub or whatever, right? The closest person to him was a paid person that lived with him. Alisha, this reminds me of something that, like, you're grateful for an employee you pay for. You would not know this person. This person would not be around if they were not getting paid. And for some reason, I don't know, that just kind of echoes to me like hearing about the celebrities where they say their best friend is their assistant. But their assistant's paid. This person wouldn't be there. Like TK. Where's TK nowadays? You never see her anymore, hear about her anymore rarely. Yeah, you bought her a superficial Christmas gift, but I mean, I know people are busy, but damn. Truth hurts.
And other people aren't, and that's something I take for granted and I'm thankful for. I think my growth, the fact that, again, I'm here filming a video that I never would have filmed because before it didn't feel...
This is taken from me. This is taken from me. All Vlogmas, I heart. Alisha, vlogging is not hard. There are people who vlog from their deathbed. You don't need to highly edit yourself to get something up that your audience will watch. That's my spray thing. I told you it sounds like a gun, but yeah, you don't need these highly edited videos to connect with people. You would better connect with an audience if you didn't highly edit it yourself. And I just think it's bullshit. This is not real.
Good enough. It's the little things that it doesn't feel big, but I'm like, wow, I'm so thankful that I've been able to grow and I have been able to evolve.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, that's what I brain farted on just now. I have chronic illnesses. I have a brain tumor and it affects a lot of things I do, but I've figured out a way to streamline vlogging so I can do it every day, where it's almost not like a big deal, and I'm actually finding out it's benefiting me in some ways. I'm able to have a different perspective on my life in a way. And Alisha here rides the struggle bus, having an audience who wants to watch her, see her, and upload, and she makes this huge deal about like everything having to be perfect, like perfect day, perfect this, having to have shit to do in order to vlog when she really doesn't need to do any of that. And she could just film herself laying in her bed saying, today sucked. Today sucked. I just sat around and edited, and then I watched some Netflix, and now I'm laying in my bed with my dog. And people would still watch that. You know, there are people who vlog from their deathbeds, and people still watch that because YouTube is not about a reality show. It's the other thing I feel like she and some of these girlies try to do is make their lives into these Kim Kardashian reality shows where that's not real. Like, I mean, I'm sure if we saw the cutting room floor of Bravo NBC, we would see a lot of shit and see a lot of different perspectives on like Vanderpump Rules you've been watching and the Real Housewives that we didn't have before. Because like I know some people who have been on those shows and they're totally different than the way they get edited on those shows. So that's not real. That's not real. No one wants to see a reality show or an edited person here on YouTube. Like this. Me coughing. Me getting over my cold. That's real fucking life, man. I'm not editing. Oh my god, this is gonna be so long. But anyways, yeah. Nobody wants to see that crap. Nobody wants to see that. We come to YouTube for the real. People started watching YouTube because it was just somebody sitting there in front of a camera and talking, and they didn't feel so alone. But when you start highly editing your shit, you're disconnecting yourself from your audience. When you're putting those words flashing on the screen, it's a disconnect. It's like you're trying to like subliminally like brainwash us or something, like with these words flashing everywhere like a cult or something. Stop it. Stop trying to make this a cult or something, okay? This is not gonna happen.
And my body, I'm still overall extremely healthy, and other people aren't, and that's something I take for granted and I'm thankful for.
You do.
I think my growth, the fact that, again, I'm here filming a video that I never would have filmed because before it didn't feel good enough. It's the little things that it doesn't feel big, but I'm like, wow, I'm so thankful that I've been able to grow, and I have been able to evolve.
I feel like that's her trying to
for this
point
little
out
nugget
something
right
to me.
here. I could cry if I think about her. Oh my god. And my mom, because she actually
that should say my dogs. She has several dogs. We never hear about Chloe anymore, which you should be grateful for, Chloe. That's part of how you got your audience. Her video of getting my puppy got like millions of views on it. A vlog about her getting Chloe, her new dog. So you should be grateful for that dog too. Because you wouldn't have the audience or the platform you have today if it wasn't for that my new puppy video. that got you millions of views. And then Remy too should be grateful for you doing that video, because Remy then got a puppy and copied you and did the same video that got her millions of views. And that's why she continues to buy puppies and animals for other people, is because she can then do a video and capture that and get millions of views. Not good that you're using animals for views, but I mean, you should be grateful for Chloe. She helped you get views. Just like Foodie Beauty should be grateful for BBJ, or, you know, stop hating on BBJ. If you guys all know that from the girl world.
Got here because she is always coming over to help us out with anything. It's something that I'm very, very thankful for. So I would love if you guys comment below 5 things that you're currently grateful for, big or small. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. I know it's like so more specific.
Okay, that crap. But yeah, I talked through that the entire time. But yeah, what are 5 things I'm grateful for? I'm grateful for that I figured out that vlogging is not that hard, and I've been able to actually make it consistent. And I'm connecting with some of you through it, like where I comment back and forth, like I'm having my coffee and commenting with you, and it's great. And I found out a really great way where it's not hard for me. It's not hard. And I feel like it's also giving me another perspective. So I'm really grateful for the vlogging. And I'm grateful for you guys, because if it's making me feel not so alone. I'm grateful for my cats because they keep me company during the day. I'm grateful for I'm able to figure out a way to work around my health problems so that I can do stuff from home. I'm grateful for my family supporting me this entire fucking time through all of this. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I have food in the fridge, because there has been times where I didn't have those things. I didn't even have a fridge. I'm grateful that I'm not in an extreme amount of pain right now, because there are times where I've been in so much pain I didn't want to be here anymore because it was just so painful. Pancreatitis is very painful for anybody who's ever had that, or like an extreme cluster migraine or whatever. Horrible. Like I could go on about all these things I'm grateful for, you know, like I'm grateful for that I'm able to get the medicine I need to treat my tumor. I'm just grateful for so many things. Like it's not just 5 things, you know, and I can just boom, boom, boom. I actually really don't even need to do this practice thing, because it's something I think about constantly throughout my day. And maybe that's the difference between me and Alisha, is that I'm constantly looking at all these little things I am grateful for and thinking about shit could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, you know, so much worse. I could be vlogging from my deathbed like some people do. So yeah, I think on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog. As you guys saw, I was working on some music earlier, so I think I might work on some music tonight. I'm gonna work on editing this. So yeah, as always, I'm sending lots of love to you. Whatever you're gonna do till then, Alisha, DM me. Stop being scared to DM me. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. So I love you guys. I love you too, Alisha. I don't bite. Message me. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Mwah.